Star Wars.
Did you know, Brock, that this is episode 99?
Oh my God. The great one.
We're one of the great one. Great whiskey. Just saying. Great whiskey. It's episode 99. I just want to say that I have to say this. There's been too many women in Star Wars.
Oh, SJW. SJW.
I'm not going to name names, but I saw a tweet by someone making fun of somebody who wrote down that men need to be at the forefront of Star Wars again.
Yes.
Did you see that?
Make Star Wars male again.
The best part is there's Rey, Jin. Wait, Rey, Jin. Rey and Jin are
Rey and Jin.
They're the only two female leads. But
British brunettes.
All of their supporting cast are men. And I remember this is when Rogue One came out. I think somebody tweeted to Claudia Gray. Claudia Gray, everyone's favorite Star Wars author, aside from Timothy Zahn. Yes. Yeah. New age Star Wars author. Somebody sent a tweet saying, "Are you happy or something about the women being in the lead and blah blah?" And this is years ago. This is when Rogue One came out, so like 2.5 years ago. Yeah. And she said, "Yeah, but it would be nice if they're supporting women too." And you look, and it's So I don't.
You had Mon Mothma. How much more do you want?
She's 99. Anyway, we're just
99.
Who gives a flying F?
Oh no, my colleague at work is like, SJW. I'm like, get out of my face.
But I still don't understand it because I just watched. I'll say this: I just watched the Jurassic Park 5.
Ooh, Jurassic Park.
That's what I call it.
V.
I call it Jurassic Park 5. And there are two characters and new characters.
Oh yeah.
I did not really care for either one of them. One of them I got used to towards the end, but one of them was Goffle.
Goffle.
God
awful.
Yes. Mansplaining.
Yeah, that's right.
But this character was so, and I said to a few people after that I was with them, like, was that character? And they're like, yes, I agree. And I'm not hearing anything negative online about this character. No, I'm not even going to say which character it was. It's Chris Pratt. I'm not going to say who it was because I didn't really care for it, but whatever. It is what it is. It just got me thinking that Star Wars, just get over it. It's a movie. Let's have fun. So episode 99, let's get back to the joys of Star Wars.
Welcome to the Rebel Scum podcast. This is
Kira.
And I am Rodrigo.
So Solo bombed.
Did it?
Well, last week it was our birthdays.
Yes. Happy birthday to us. Hooray.
And as a gift, we took ourselves to go see Solo.
And I slept through most of it.
I thought you were.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
How many times have you? That's your fourth time.
Fourth time.
And you had 3.5. You just come from work. It was a 12 in the afternoon show. We have to we have to paint the picture. And
nothing to do with the actual movie. I'm just a tired little baby.
Well, you came from work.
Yeah.
I came from traffic at 12 o'clock in the afternoon.
The movie traffic.
The movie traffic, not the good one, the other one.
Oh yeah. I don't
know what that means. And so when the movie ended, I had to go pick something. We said goodbye.
Goodbye.
And then I left to go. I had to pick something up at the local grocery store. Mm-hmm. And I picked it up. And on the way home, Erin called me. And she goes, "So how was the movie?" Like teasing.
Yeah.
Because I'd already seen it, obviously. And I was like, OMG, I love that movie. And there was a part in it when I was watching, I was like, yeah, I just love this damn movie. But I don't know if you heard. Remember that old us came in?
Yeah.
There's two older...
We saw our future selves.
Yeah, two older guys showed up. There was 6 of us in the theater in total. And 2 of them were old men. Not old, but
Yeah.
And they sat down in the row in front of... we all sat in 3 consecutive rows, which is kind of awkward. But anyway, they sat like right beside me. Did you hear them at all throughout the movie?
Not through the movie, just before. Like they were talking pretty loud.
Oh, they were talking during the movie, and it was actually adding to the experience because they were all in. True. They were all in on this movie.
Yeah, yeah.
They're like, oh my god, no.
I know, like some people are mad when people talk through movies, but it is kind of fun, when they applaud or they get excited or I mean, not. If you see A Quiet Place, nobody should make noise. That was because you will hear it.
I got Andrew Fantasia called me. He's like, "So you're seeing Quiet Place?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Don't get popcorn."
Yeah, do not get popcorn.
So immediately I got in there. I'm like, Andrew said, "Don't get popcorn." Then the waitress came out. She's like, "What would you like, popcorn?"
Yeah.
Like right away, and I'm like,
but it's like you should see Get Out with a with a loud audience, like stuff like that. So I do like that. But yeah, they were psyched, weren't they?
They had some of those, and then at the end they were talking about who Donald Glover was. They're like, "Oh, that's the guy from. Oh, he's been in." They couldn't.
Oh yeah, I remember that part. Yeah.
But throughout the entire movie, when Darth Maul showed up, they're like, "Oh, what is that? Yeah, I think that's him. Oh my gosh, wow!" Like they were like so in on it. I was like, "This is a great experience for me. I'm loving it."
Jesus.
The people behind us, they did not talk at all. I was like,
No.
"Speak up." I think they hated it, but I enjoyed it the second time even more than the first time.
Yeah. So I was working with another colleague that, like, people at my work know I like Star Wars. So it's like, they're like, "So did you see Solo?" I'm like, "Yes, 4 times." And they're like, "Good Lord." And he's like, "So is it good?" And because, like, there's such divisiveness on, like, the state of Star Wars, now I'm like, so, like, these people do not care. They're just going to see a movie for the sake of it. I'm like, yo, see this on Netflix when it comes out for sure. Or go now if you want. But I'm always like, I feel like I'm always apologizing for them. So I'm like, So they're like, "It's not good?" And I'm like, no, I saw it 4 times. It's a great movie. It's just, it's a movie for the...
People are building up Star Wars to this level that you're never going to match. But this is why I wanted to bring up us seeing Solo again and me loving it even more. Is now because like the day before, we saw 2 days before, the article came out by a website saying that Disney is halting production on all standalone movies. And I text you. And the next day I was shooting a short film.
Yep.
And Sheldon Norton, the cinematographer for me, who did the documentary When the Galaxy Listens on Rebel Force Radio, check it out on the YouTube. That's a plug.
Yeah.
I told him, and he was like, he's a huge Star Wars fan, obviously. And he goes like this. He's eating. And he goes, "No. No." He had seen Solo twice at that point and loved it. And he really wanted an Obi Wan movie, because everyone does. And he's like, no, that is so disheartening. Come on, no, you're not serious. I'm like, that's what I read. Then the next day, obviously, it came out that was all hogwash. But then a rumor came out, and this is still, I think, just a rumor, but they're looking at putting Obi Wan on the Disney streaming site. And it'll be like the first movie on their streaming site.
Oh, okay.
And so we saw Solo again, and that information, I think, hit me right after we saw it, somewhere around the time frame of it. And it got me thinking, I loved Solo, but I am all on board with them adding those type of movies to the streaming site. And the reason that I'm okay with that, even though I love Solo, and it's either 1 or 2 on my Disney era Star Wars scale, is because exactly what I said, I think, in our review or that week, is I felt like it was a book. Yeah. Like it was the Expanding Universe book. Yeah. And like this one, more than Rogue One, I felt like that. And so I was all in on it, obviously, but I'm like, but maybe that should be over there. Yeah. Maybe that's where even Obi-Wan Kenobi, maybe that's where these stories belong, because I was also at a friend's on Sunday, drank some wine, and we were talking about Star Wars, and they hadn't seen Solo yet. Yeah. For the exact reason we talked about last week, how people are like, I don't need to see it. Like, it's not. Yeah. And he's like, our friend Ryan Crothers, right? Yeah. He's like, he likes Star Wars a lot. He loved Rogue One. I think he loved The Last Jedi and Force Awakens. Like, he's genuinely, but he hasn't seen Solo because he's like, I don't want to go. It's summertime. Yeah. There's like, I don't see the reason. But he's like, and then I said, well, they're gonna end it at 9, and then they're gonna do Rian Johnson, like a new trilogy. Yeah. And then like a saga. He goes, I don't want that. I want 10. He's like, I just want 10. And I'm curious about that too. We'll get into that in a little bit, but because I kind of understand where he's coming from. Not personally, but I've kind of felt this way for a while, because we talk about what is Star Wars. Yeah. And that's where they are. But how would you feel if Obi-Wan, an Obi-Wan sequel or Obi-Wan film goes on their streaming site instead of the theater?
I'm fine with it, because there is a point that we're going to just have to get used to the fact that, like, some of these films aren't going to the theater. Like, or not... It's not even that, because it's like, I mean, I don't know how good their streaming service is going to be, but if they just copy what Netflix does, like, it's a no-brainer. And so, like, because of Netflix, I'll just watch some random movie. I was like, oh, that was okay. Like, but it didn't really cost me anything besides the monthly subscription. But, like, that, it still costs you basically nothing. I think the problem is Star Wars is like, it's such an event, because the same person I was talking to about Han Solo at work was like saying he liked Last Jedi, he liked Force Awakens, but it's in his head, it's sort of an event. He didn't say this, but like he told me a story about how he saw Last Hope. New Hope, Star Wars in theaters probably when they he probably saw it when it originally came out, or maybe after, like 78, 79, 80 or whatever. He saw it with his dad in a theater in Toronto. And then Force Awakens comes out. They both went to see it in Toronto as adult. Well, as he's no longer a child, he's an adult. And it was like seeing New Hope again, because it's like, as everyone knows, it's pretty much an homage to A New Hope. It's like, but like in his head, like I think that's what people get psyched about. It's like, it's an event, we have to go. And then the last couple movies coming out at Christmas, there's still that vibe, because you're like, you don't have to go to work or whatever. It's like you go see it. Like I would go see it on Boxing Day with my parents, so it's like it becomes a tradition. So maybe if Han Solo had come out then, maybe it would have done better. I don't know. But, you know, even though there has been TV shows for the last almost 10 years, well, you know, for a fact, 10 years, it's still not, it's like, it's on specialty channels like Cartoon Network or Disney XD. Like, you have to have those channels. They're not basic cable. And you also have to be a fan. So it's like, even though there has been other content, I don't think the concept that people have really gotten used to, like, oh, there's Star Wars outside of the movies. So this streaming service is going to change that. So, like, why not make movies? So at least, there's a movie there. It's Star Wars. I can only watch it here. The exclusivity is what you should push if you can get all these people to go to the streaming service. So we will see. But
I'm all fine with like a Obi Wan movie, a Solo sequel, whatever, going to the streaming site, because things are going to happen. They're going to go that way. And as much as everyone wants the Obi Wan movie, how much does the general public want an Obi Wan movie? Yeah. They didn't go see Solo. Are they going to go see Obi Wan? Because you know what even more than Solo, you know what happens with Obi Wan. We've got his prequel story already.
Yeah.
And I just feel, like you just said, they are event films. And I think part of it, when they were like, Disney's going to reevaluate, I think they're still reevaluating some stuff. And I think what they need to look at is that, you know, these are event films. And I think we talked about it forever. You bring one out a year, possibly two out a year. Yeah. You saturate that thing, and then the event dies off. And then you get a movie like Solo, which people are like, I don't need to see that. Why am I going to see it? And now let's go to episode 10, which
episode
is
9?
Presumably, no, 10. We're skipping. 9's happened. We're all like, yeah, it made one. I'm thinking it's gonna make 1.5 billion. I've already said that.
So the beginning of the next trilogy.
Yeah. So, is it a mistake not to do episode 10? Because I'm gonna go back to what I was saying about on the weekend, where they're like, I just want to see this, because Star Wars is not the MCU.
No.
It's just, and Disney, we're gonna make it like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but it's not that at all. No. I think it's a mistake to look at it that way. And if they are event films, is it still an event film if you get, and look, let's not get into Rian Johnson. We'll call it Rian Johnson's trilogy, but it has nothing to do with Rian Johnson at all.
Yeah.
It's the new Star Wars trilogy. Rian Johnson's doing it, whatever.
Yeah.
If we see the trailer for that and we're like, oh, that looks like fun, is that an event, or is that looked at like Solo is looked at by the general audience? But if they do 10, because you know if 10 comes out, they're like, Skywalker Saga is continued. Look at Rey's back, Finn's back.
Yeah.
Which is the best direction for this franchise to go?
I don't know. They need to make something new, though, because I think I said it before. The problem they're having is they have to fit somebody's old idea into what they want to do. Like, and I have no problem with that. I want to know what happens to Luke, Leia, and Han. Like, I want them in there, and it's, if anything, it's a connector. But like, the way that Rian Johnson dealt with Luke wasn't appreciated by fans. So, and I've said it before, it's like, if it wasn't Luke, just a character that Rey has to meet, people probably wouldn't have been that mad. They'd be like, oh, okay. But like, it's Luke. It's not the chosen one, but like, he's your main character. He's the person you've been following since the first movie, and this is how he ends. And you're like, but it's, you know, like, I don't think there's anything wrong with how he ends. It's just, we had that period where we were like, oh, this could happen to Luke, and this could happen, and then none of that happens, which is, that is what it is. That's how Rian Johnson wanted it to go down, or I don't know, Lucasfilm wanted it to go down. So, like, I don't even know where I was going. But yeah, the new trilogy, yeah, it would be nice if those new characters they created. But like Lucasfilm has sort of painted himself into this corner where it's like some people like what we're doing with the old characters, but a lot of people don't. So it's like, why are we doing this to ourselves? Let's make new characters, you know, like, or new storyline of some
They're
sort.
just experiencing what George Lucas went through with the prequels.
Exactly.
Only on a louder scale because social
Yeah.
media wasn't exactly what it is today.
Yeah.
So I think that's really the difference. Is Star Wars fans hate Star Wars more than anybody else.
Yeah, it's like I never understand how people forget like oh my god, this is the worst Star Wars movie ever. Like, no, it's not.
The Star Wars fans like 2 movies.
Yeah. Empire.
2.
Caravan of Courage.
Caravan of Courage. And I think a part of them likes Rogue One.
Yeah, like, I
The
find
parts that Jin's not in it.
I find the general public is like, oh, that was pretty cool. Like, I like that better than The Force Awakens.
My parents came over on my birthday and I had Jaws on because I watch Jaws every day, and Aaron's always like, "What? Stop it!"
Well, you should do the real time Jaws viewing where you watch it on the same day that it occurs because it doesn't. The main
so you
thing
have to
is
watch it
July
in
4th.
portions?
You watch portions, so like there's like
That's
a
how I watch
section.
movies. I should do that. I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah.
Because we'll have a panic on our hands on the 4th of July. So I knew that on that day I could get away with putting Jaws on. Like I was like, she's not gonna tell me to turn it off because I'm gonna be like, hey, I'm old. So I put it on. My parents showed up and I was like, oh, Jaws. He was like all excited. And Aaron's like, oh God, he watches this every day. And I was like, that's overkill. I'm like, yeah, but it's so good. I don't really watch. It's just on.
Yeah.
Like it was on silent. So Jaws ends, and my dad's like, "Do you have Star Wars on here?" I was like, "Well, I have."
Do you have Star Wars?
I was like,
on?
"Well, I have The Last Jedi." Oh, I'm not putting it in a Blu-ray. That's too much work. It was a digital. So I was like, he's like, "Do you have what Star Wars do you have?" I go, "Well, I have The Last Jedi, which you love, and I have Rogue One." He goes, "Which one's that?" And I put it on. He goes, "Oh, the good one." That was his response.
Which one is that?
The good one was what he referred to it as.
Yeah.
And it was on. We never turned it off. No audio. It's kind of weird. But I watched The Last Jedi the next day. I gotta say this about Solo. The cinematography on both of those, the faces are very evenly lit on both of those movies. Solo, it's very dark and gritty.
Yeah, that's like my only complaint about that movie. It's like even watching it the 4th time, I'm like,
And this is what I was saying for like, was Bradford Young great cinematographer, but is that the right choice for Star Wars? Star Wars like an MCU movie, man. Just show me I'm fine with it, but just show me the face. Make sure this is nice and bright.
Yeah.
You can have a really dark shadow here. Make sure this is bright, have fire, whatever.
Yeah.
But everything evenly lit for the most part.
Yeah,
And everyone's like, Last Jedi is beautiful looking. It is. But it's beautiful looking on like a blockbuster scale.
yeah, man.
Whereas Solo looks like an indie film almost.
Yeah. It's so dark. Like, I think I said it to you before. Like, there's that second Wookiee. I never get a good look at his face. And then somebody made a big deal about that. Like, oh, he's an ugly looking because it's like he's been like tortured or whatever in the mines or whatever. I'm like, But yeah, that's my only complaint. It just seems dark.
Yep.
I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, it's just the style.
Yeah.
That's it.
I guess like the dark underbelly that is of the galaxy, I suppose.
Yeah. I don't know. I think, we've been talking about it for a while, but I just... Because that's the thing that I always go back to. And then when you watch, Solo, and then a few hours later, Rogue One's on the TV.
Yeah.
You really know. Then the next day I put Last Jedi on. And I was like, wow, you can really see the nipples. On Kylo. But for me, I think I agree they need to go in a separate direction. And that first peak that we get of the new trilogy coming, I won't say Rian Johnson because we'll get, this trilogy needs to be canceled. I was saying to somebody online, I think they agree with me. Rian Johnson does a trilogy. When you market that movie, his name probably won't be on the marketing.
Yeah.
It won't be from the director of The Last Jedi. I mean, it could be, but I doubt they'll put it. And so anybody that hated The Last Jedi but still likes Star Wars that isn't in the Star Wars fandom cyclone of crazy, they won't know. They'll be like, well, I'm going to see the new Star Wars. And that's it. But I think, look, in that trilogy, for it to be an event, a Star Wars event, lightsabers are crucial.
Yep.
The Force is crucial.
Yeah.
Family lineage is crucial. Nudity, crucial. Like Kylo Ren. Again, back to the nipples.
Dank memes. They should have dank memes. Pepe the Frog.
But I think, I really think though, lightsaber, Force, maybe not family, but I think the thing is Star Wars is all about family in the end of it all. It really is. And that's why Rey is a Kenobi. but that, like, Star Wars is all about family. I think those three are key points to the next one being like, I've got to see where the next, because it's not about that one. It's about the next one and always being one behind what we're getting.
Yeah, yeah. I just think they need to go somewhere new. And it's like, yeah, you're right. Family does tend to come up. Like, even in the expanded universe, there's some, like, connection of some sort. Yeah. Like, they did a storyline where it's, like, Luke's, like, grandson. And it has almost, like, there's probably, I think there was a couple, but it's, like, this is still good because it's just, here's a cookie cutter, push everything through it. So it's like, okay, I understand what this is. It's the same thing. And I know that's like, oh, I don't want the same thing. It's like, but start with that and then put some cool, like, funfetti on it. They're like, oh, this is different. But I still understand this is Star Wars. Yeah, I don't know. Definitely the Force. But, you know, Han Solo almost lacking in Jedi. Or Force in general. It's still pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it lives in that with the Empire.
Yeah.
So you have this, but I just think for the event factor, giant lightsaber battle up the wazoo.
Yeah.
Because we haven't had lightsabers really do much.
No.
I mean, so we can go back and argue what we've had in the original trilogy. The prequel trilogy, we got a ton of them. I really hope episode 9 we get something cool with them. But at the same time, the Force Awakens lightsaber fight was okay. It was what it needed to be.
Yeah.
Like, not okay. Like, it's, you know what I mean. It's like okay, like Vader and Obi Wan's okay. Like it's what you need in that moment. We didn't get one in Last Jedi.
Well,
we had lightsabers, but they weren't against each other.
Yeah.
One of my favorite scenes. Solo, obviously nothing. Rogue One, obviously, Vader kicking ass with his lightsaber. But we haven't had lightsaber on lightsaber action.
No, yeah, true.
And these movies, with the exception of one, have all made over $1 billion.
Yep.
So are they missing that?
Maybe, yeah. I think so. Yeah, it's like, it's funny to think about it, because the original trilogy, it has it and it doesn't have it, because it obviously they thought it up, but there was also the time where, like, making those fights was hard. So, but then the prequels, it's funny, or people are like, oh, the prequels, they're not good for anything. It's like, well, they are good for, like, a lot of lightsaber stuff. Yeah. Like, there's a lot of, like, a Jedi battle, like, well, that's not really lightsaber on a lightsaber either, but, like, but just seeing it, like, they can do more stuff, and choreography, it's thought out. You can do flips and stuff like that now, like, but yeah, like, in, like, Attack Clones, Revenge of the Sith, like, that's a pretty badass lightsaber fight right there. And there's a bunch I didn't think about, but
Duel
like,
of Fates.
Mustafar is really nice.
Mustafar, Dooku, Yoda, Dooku, Obi Wan, Anakin,
Yoda,
Sidious,
yeah, Mace Mace, Anakin, I guess.
Do you want to see Mace come back?
Not in the movie. You could throw him in a book or a comic or maybe.
What about a streaming site movie?
I don't know. Because it's like, I'm not one to abide by, like, oh, the internet was right. Because I feel like he's done. Like, I should have sent it to you. There was a thing I saw. Someone photoshopped the Jedi Council if, like, Sidious hadn't won. So it's, like, old Samuel L. Jackson and then Alec Guinness sitting beside him. And it's like, oh, my God, that'd be amazing. But
I love that. How about this scenario? We see a movie. It's on the streaming site. It's called Order 66 something.
Yeah.
And we follow a young former Padawan. And he has a lightsaber that he built.
Yeah.
He's like Kanan. Like
old, like I was going to say, and his name is Kanan.
And he's like walking through probably a desert planet. Or maybe like the underbelly of like Coruscant, but a place that hasn't been populated at all. It's like nothing's there. And then somebody says something and he notices a lightsaber.
Yeah.
And he goes, something blah, 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 blah. It's like, can you use it? Blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden something lifts up and moves. And we see a one-armed mace. And he trains this guy.
Yeah.
The mace dies in that.
Yeah.
And he trains this Jedi. And the Jedi goes on. And, well, something has to happen because he can't survive much longer. But, but that's, what about that scenario?
Yeah, I'd watch it. Like, it's like, you can throw any scenario at me. I'm like, yeah, I'll watch that. Or like, yeah, that's fun.
Yaddle and Yoda and Hooch. And like Carillion dogs.
Carillion dogs, which were actual dogs.
Yeah. What about that? Yaddle, Yoda, and a Carillion dog named Hooch.
Hooch is crazy.
Hooch is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, they did something in the comics recently with, I forget what Jedi Master it is. It's the guy with, like, the bull horns, but, like, it's not him. It's like that, because, like, that guy dies in Attack of the Clones. Or not, sorry, Revenge of the Sith. And then they also mention, I was just thinking about this when we were talking about Han Solo. Like, the problem with Han Solo and having any Jedi stuff in it is, like, Han doesn't really know much about the Force in New Hope, so you can't show it to him. But in one of the last annual, they had Santa Solo is selling two Jedi blades, or sorry, Sith blades. One to, I forget who, but it's like a cross one, like Kylo's. Like it's an old Sith Lord's thing, and then she sold one to one side and then the other. So it's like a whole thing. So like, oh, this Sith Lord is now canon, blah blah blah. So it's like that's how you incorporate that into the movie, but they keep doing that though, where they keep bringing, like they brought back Jocasta Nu, and then she dies at the end of the storyline. It's just like, which obviously you have to do that because then there's no Jedi, but it's just a simple answer. Yes, that's awesome because they've done it a bunch of times. It's wicked, but like I don't know.
Leave it be.
I don't know.
Just leave it be.
The cool idea would be like, oh, I'm being trained by a Jedi Master that's gone into hiding at the end. He's like, oh, he was a Force ghost the whole time. And it's Bruce Willis. Boom. Like, he's such a powerful Jedi that he's almost corporeal, but you never touched him. Or go the other way, where it's like, there was no Jedi Master, and this person, the Force trained like this character. And just imagine, it's like Fight Club. It's like, there is no guy there. It's just you talking to yourself.
That's good. There's so many avenues for them to explore that a lot of the fandom will hate. So
I mean, this could be where we get our first Star Wars horror film. We could get that on that. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Death Troopers, the book, not the actual Death Troopers. Which, by the way, watching Rogue One again, I was like, damn, I love Death Troopers. They're so cool. K2SO. Wait. We don't have this is not a top 5, but who would you say in the Disney era had the most impactful death?
Trying to remember everyone that died. The entire cast of Rogue One. Who died? Does anyone die in the first Force Awakens?
Han.
Yes. Oh yeah. Who dies in that? And then in Jedi, Last Jedi, it's Luke.
And
Holdo,
fandom.
And the fandom. I would say it's a throw up between Han and K2SO. Because it's like, Han is Han. And it's like, oh my god. And then, you know what? What's the big thing? I guess it's that. Like, I just feel like nobody, like, talks about Han, like, Vader getting on that ship in Rogue One.
No, because I think, I say The Last Jedi, I feel like there was a lot of poor execution in it.
Yeah.
And I think Force Awakens has most of the best execution of the new era. But I think Han's death was not executed as well as it could have. Because I think the stab, like, look, when you got Obi Wan, you swipe him down.
Yeah.
I think there's something more dramatic about that.
Yeah.
Than just, like, it's lacking. And so when it happens, first of all, you know it's coming.
Yeah.
Like, you know for that whole time. And then it happens so almost nonchalantly.
Yeah, and you don't hate Kylo yet.
Yeah.
Like, it's sort of, that's what pushes him over the edge, sort of.
Yeah, and like, I also think that Luke's death wasn't executed that well either.
It was like 1,000 fanboys cried out in anger.
Like, his death is, both deaths are fine and they're perfectly placed.
Yeah.
but they're not impactful the way you would expect original trilogy characters' death to be impactful.
And they should be, because like a son killing his father is pretty harsh, and the fact that a Jedi can like send his image across the galaxy and like mess with 1 million people's heads, that's impressive. But no one's like, oh, you killed Luke. But if it had been anybody else, it wouldn't have mattered. They'd be like, that was epic.
Yeah. I think honestly, and I don't want Janet, don't get mad at me, but I think Kylo removing his helmet for Rey earlier on takes so much away from that Han Solo moment at the end of The Force Awakens where he's like, take off the mask.
Yeah,
That should be the moment we see his face. And because then you have more emotion going on. Maybe they're short on time shooting it. Who knows? We don't have time. But I just think there's just something lagging there. But like for me, K2SO's death is like legit. For me, it's K2SO, Beckett.
Yeah.
Because the Beckett death I like a lot because of what it does for Han.
Yeah.
So K2SO, Beckett, Traitor, TR-8R. Snoke is up. Snoke is up in there. Snoke has like of those of like Luke, Han, Snoke. Snoke is the one that you're like, what?
Yeah.
And I really just wish like we had more info on Snoke to actually care about him being dead.
Like she doesn't die, but Leia getting sucked out into space. That like I reacted to that. I was like, "Oh, is this how it ends?" It's like, "Is this what happens?" But like, she comes back.
I just wish she didn't float like Princess Peach.
It's space.
Yeah, but execution.
She is a space angel. Space angel. Space angel. You use the Force. Anyways.
My mouse stopped working.
Yay! Go. Patreon! We have a Patreon page. Because this ain't free.
Actually.
But my love don't cost a thing. What you were going to say?
No, none of it was free.
No. Parts of it are gifts. But we spent a lot of money to get where we are. And 99 episodes. We've worked hard. But we would love your support. So go to patreon.com/Rebel Scum Podcast. Rebel Scum Podcast. And help us out. For $1 a month, you get early access and possibly get to see the Clone Wars show that I'm going to do with Andrew.
You guys really need to call each other.
Yeah, I also need free time. This is my first day off in a while. Tier 2. $2 a month. You get all that stuff prior, plus Andrew's Goodwill Hunting show.
Second episode will be up by the end of the week.
See? So normal listeners, you're not getting that. So
it's all about the galaxy.
It's all about the galaxy.
The ins and the outs of the galaxy.
Samsung Galaxy S9.
It'll blow up on a plane.
That is the note. Tier 3, $3 a month. You get all that stuff prior. Plus, you can send us theories, suggestions for top 5, or never tell me the odds. And we will talk about it on the internet air. And fourth tier, $10 a month. It's a little high, but you get to be on the show. Plus, all that other stuff. Do it. So, yeah, thank you for all the people that support us. Thank you very much. We really appreciate it, and we would love to have more. So, yeah. And maybe we'll have NSFW pictures as a tier. As a tier. Like tier for $50 you get. Not safe for work pictures.
All of Andrew. They're all Andrew pictures. All right, today's top 3 are from Patreon. Den Allen.
The man, the legend. Hi.
He is. He's actually, you should watch his Duel of the Fates. I won't tell you who won. We did it in January, so you should check that out down below.
Those always turn out the opposite way the way we think they're going to turn out.
So check it out because it is a doozy of a trivia. All right. I think these are all about episode 9. You have not looked at these.
No.
I read them briefly and said, these are acceptable. And decided to do it. I'm curious to see what Den's odds are on them because he sent these. He always gives us his percentage in the comments. I'm curious to see what he thinks of the odds that he created. 100% on all of them. What are the odds that Kylo Ren destroys his own Knights of Ren? Side Akbar, do you think people would love The Last Jedi more if the Praetorian Guards were Knights of Ren?
Yeah, that was what I was just thinking about. I was like, what if the Knights of Ren were just those guys?
I'm glad they weren't.
Yeah.
Side Akbar on the Side Akbar. What if the Knights of Ren are all women?
Oh, that'd be sweet.
That'd be awesome.
I have zero problem. Because if you put on that mask, you can be anything under there. You could just be a robot. A robot. The odds. I'm gonna. He needs an army that isn't First Order because I feel like Hux is gonna betray him at any cost. I'm gonna go 30% because I think it'd be very interesting. It'd be cool. That's how we get our lightsaber fights. But yeah.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. See, I think he's gonna use them, but I can see at the end of the movie him like destroying them all. I gotta go full Brock because of that. Because I can see him like they're his army, like you just said. But at the end of the movie, something happens and he's like, I gotta wipe them out, and he just knocks them all out.
It's hard to say because you don't know much about the Knights of Ren besides the mention of them in the Force Awakens.
Well, I called Uncle JJ, Uncle JJ, and he was like, just so you know, the Knights of Ren have a prominent role in this. I won't tell you, but Kylo Ren slaughters them all.
Yay!
By the way, these were supposed to be for our 100th episode, but we went a week early on.
You don't tell me what to do, Den.
What are the odds that Rey changes the name of the Jedi?
Oh, I want to go like 90% because I feel like they're trying to like say there's going to be something new, and it doesn't really happen in Last Jedi. I mean, I guess it kind of does. Yeah, no, but I agree. Like, I think it should be something new, and maybe not a light side, dark side. Like, maybe it's the gray, you know, but not the gray. Like, you know what I mean? Not the gray with what's his name?
Bendu?
No, Qui-Gon Jinn. What's his actual name?
Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson. It's not that gray. It's the Gray Jedi. There are no wolves.
Have you seen the post-credit scene of that movie?
No, I've never watched any of it.
You've never seen the gray?
No.
I will let you borrow the Blu-ray.
Because it's the gray.
It's the greatest movie. No, it's not. I gotta go 0.
Yeah, I can't see them.
Jedi, and not for Rey's point, but for Disney Lucasfilm.
For sure or not.
I just, like, Jedi is, we were just talking about the new trilogy, he says, Jedi. It's like, well, if they're not called Jedi, it's such a pop cultural thing that getting rid of it, and I know a lot of times filmmakers and storytellers are like, well, I'm bigger than this. You're not bigger than Jedi. Jedi is bigger than George Lucas. I think George Lucas understands that too. You just do not mess with it. It is Jedi, unless you want to piss more fans off.
It'd be easier to make up a new villain that wields the Force.
Yes, Sith isn't Jedi.
No,
Jedi is Jedi. She could be like, this is a new faction. Called the Ugudu. But Jedi still has to be a thing, so I have to go 0 on that. And our final odd, what are the odds that we see Luke, Obi Wan, Yoda, Anakin, and Leia Force ghosts at the end of the Skywalker saga, like Anakin, Ben, and Yoda?
10 years, so selfish.
And Rotja.
50-50. Like, it'd be awesome. I think we should see another Force ghost, but I mean, I guess they could do anything. I was like, Carrie Fisher, how do you put that? But like, that's pretty easy to do. Just CG her in somehow. No, I don't like the idea that everyone just automatically becomes one with the Force, because it they made the sense as like, it's not, everybody can't do it. It's a matter of like training, right? Like Yoda makes sense. Obi Wan makes sense to an extent because he learns from Qui-Gon. And with the sense of Anakin doing it, it's like, okay. I guess he was pretty strong with the Force. He's the chosen one. He should be able to do it. But yeah, like, it would be great. Don't get me wrong. But I just, like, I don't know. So I'm going to go 50-50 on that.
Every part of me wants Anakin to come back. Mm-hmm. I want to... I actually... excuse me. As weird as it sounds, really would like Qui-Gon. I'm just joking. I need water. I would like Qui-Gon. Why? I don't know. But I feel like he starts everything in motion. That'd be nice to see him bookend it with something with him and Rey at the end. And because we know that he can't become a full Force ghost, right? But something minimal that he has to do. Yeah. I'm going to go full Brock.
Full Brock.
I need a cough button.
It would be awesome.
Holy crap.
Yeah. So while you cough, let's go to Holo News. Holo News. What's new in the Holo News? Let me open my notes. So, this year at San Diego Comic-Con will mark... Well, I guess it doesn't mark. But there's going to be a panel for the 10-year anniversary of Clone Wars. So that's been announced this week. It will be a 10-year anniversary panel. Dave Filoni obviously will put on his cowboy hat and show up, and I assume several of the cast will show up. I mean, probably a bunch of them will be there already. But that's interesting. It should be fun. I hope they put that on the internet. That'd be awesome to see. But as you know, Clone Wars was the last George Lucas pushed project before he sold it, so it's kind of neat to celebrate it. Plus, with the addition of certain characters into Han Solo, this oh yeah, maybe this will get some new interest in it. It's like, oh, here's what really happened with that character. Next story, Thrawn is coming out this month, July 24th to be exact, and an excerpt was released on the internet recently, probably this week, I think. Then you read a part, and apparently Thrawn meets Anakin prior to him joining the Empire and prior to Anakin becoming Vader. This occurs during Clone Wars, and they have a talk. It's a flashback because, as you know, the new Thrawn, what's the full title? Alliances is based around Vader and Thrawn working on some kind of mission. So it will be realized at some point that they have met. I don't know to what extent, but it turns out, I won't spoil it, but I will say one thing. They go to Batu, which is also the planet that the new theme park is based around. So that should be very interesting how that all works out. I don't know. But that will be out July 24th. You should get it. Also, if you're at San Diego Comic-Con checking out the 10th anniversary of Clone Wars, you should pick up a copy of Thrawn Alliances because there's a special cover where instead of Vader on the cover, it's Anakin. And that looks awesome. In our next story, their water evaporators have been created. They've been around for a while, but where's my thing here? The Zero Mass Water Incorporated company, an American firm that developed the technology, has created a solar-powered device that produces drinking water by extracting water vapor from the air with an absorbent material dubbed source. I don't know what that means. Completely off-grid and self-contained hydro panel creates drinking water just from sunlight and air. Basically, it costs $2,000 per panel, but 2 panels could cover the amount of water needed for a small family, and up to 4 panels could cover a community. And it can produce about 5,000 liters of water per day. 5 liters of water daily, and put out 5,000 liters in a serviceable life. And all it really requires is it needs to be serviced once a year, new filters once a year, and then a new mineral cartridge that they add just for flavor every 5 years. So that's pretty cool. I know it's in a couple different places like the Philippines. I think they have one in Jordan. But it's good for islands and arid places where water is hard to get. So it's pretty neat. So yeah, someone made it. And people that work there wanted to call it something Star Wars related, but the article was like, that did not happen. But like, it is well known that like this is an idea that was thought up in A New Hope. So that's really cool. And in our last story, the Han Solo blaster from Return of the Jedi just was sold in a auction on Saturday. It went for $550,000 US.
Cheap.
For just the gun.
Pew pew.
And it was from Return of the Jedi. It was sold. It was purchased by Ripley's, believe it or not, from the Return of the Jedi art director's collection, which also included an Ewok axe, a Scout Trooper blaster, and I don't know if he owned it, but it was in the same auction. There was a Marilyn Monroe. I wrote blaster, but I meant dress. I wrote these notes up this morning while I was sleeping. Marilyn Monroe dress and a Superman costume worn by Keanu Reeves. No, Christopher Reeves. Wrong Reeves. Whoa. So that's cool. And that's all the news you need to know for the nerds. I don't know. Okay, bye.
Star Wars is great.
Top 5.
Today's top 5 is a weird one.
Yeah, this one I'm going to be thinking up on the fly.
I can't never do that. Top 5 ways they can incorporate Obi Wan Kenobi into Episode 9. I don't know if you know this, but the rumor is that Ewan McGregor will be reprising, representing himself as the Jedi Master Obi Wan Kenobi, aka Old Ben Kenobi.
Yep.
Ryan Johnson said, I couldn't do that because it would look like Ewan McGregor, and that would be weird because he should look like Alec Guinness. And you're like, that kind of makes sense, but also weird because you can make him look like Alec Guinness. So, never tell me the odds. Ewan McGregor, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Episode 9. Yay or nay?
Are they going to make it?
Will he be in Episode 9?
Yeah, I think so. But I was just wondering, like, do you think that Lucasfilm has called, the Alec Guinness estate or family to see if they could CG Alec Guinness into something?
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't make sense to not make.
I mean, if you do
Ewan
it for
McGregor, like,
you do
why?
it for Peter Cushing, though, you got to do it for Alec Guinness, and it could still be. You could be like, hey, Mr. McGregor, you won.
Yeah.
We want you in this movie, but we're gonna make you look more like this guy.
Yeah,
and I feel like Ewan McGregor would be like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like he's totally cool with them taking Alec Guinness's Rey and putting his I think he gets it and he's okay with it.
Yeah.
And look, he's an actor. He's full of himself. Obviously, he wants to see himself on screen. But he's in Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, that movie looks awesome.
Yeah, I know. I can't wait. And he's in things. It's not like he's not in anything. And he's like, no, I need my FaceTime. Like he understands that he's in this greater universe.
Yeah.
I think so. I'll go first.
Okay. Top 5 ways he could be.
He could be incorporated into it. I think Luke comes back in some way as a Force ghost, either to haunt Kylo or train Rey, and Obi-Wan is over his shoulder.
Is that your number 5?
That's number 5. No, Luke, don't taunt Kylo. That's my Obi-Wan Kenobi impression. That is why I did not get the role.
My number 5 is the same thing because it's like
it's
the easiest solution though. Like put him in as a Force ghost.
I'm just gonna do it. And you're like same thing.
Yeah, probably.
No, it's definitely the easiest solution. My number 4 is the exact same. Only it's what Dan suggested earlier. The end of the movie, it's all of them kind of looking around like it. In some avenue like that, but it'll be him, Luke, Yoda, maybe Anakin, 100% Qui-Gon. Not 100%. Just that's my number 4.
Number 4 for me would be a Darth Maul movie if they ever made it, or if they have Darth Maul show up again somehow and put Obi Wan in there as well.
No, but this is in Episode 9.
Oh, only Episode 9.
Yeah, only. Episode 9.
Shit.
Put Darth Maul in Episode 9.
Okay, fine. Scratch that one. Number 4, they get an old recording from something, either Imperial Records or Jedi Records, or it's a Jedi holocron, and it's Obi-Wan. Because somebody already said, I saw something where there was a recording about Padme in front of the Senate, and the Resistance sees it after like say Leia dies at the beginning of Episode 9. They're like, nobody's there, and what rallies the troops is watching a Padme recording. You're like,
is that a rumor right now?
it's not a rumor. It's just somebody did it on Instagram. So.
Somebody make that happen.
Yeah, that'd be cool. But yeah, so I'm gonna steal that idea and just an Obi Wan where Rey, whatever.
Yeah, mine's along the same lines. It's a flashback of young Obi Wan Kenobi doing something that ties into my number 3. No, my number 2. Where are we? First goes 1, 2. Yeah, so it would be a flashback of young Obi Wan tying into what my number 2 would be.
So that's your number 4?
3.
That's what my number 3 would be. A Jedi. What is it called in Force Awakens where she touches it? That's not a flashback.
Force back.
Force
Skype.
Force Skype. No.
Force time. It's a force back.
Yeah, so something like that. It worked great in Force Awakens, and his voice is in it, so put him in there again.
My number 2 is a flashback to seeing something that's happening, and that's when you realize he's a relative of Rey.
Ooh. How about a shapeshifter? Zam Wessel.
Oh!
And it's just Obi-Wan Kenobi. But which is funny because they put a same type of alien in the current Star Wars one where they had to have him pretend to be an Imperial Moff or something like that.
I'm down for more Zam.
Yeah.
And my number 1.
Number 1.
He was Snoke's former master. I don't know why. I don't know.
I know I've run out of ideas.
He's an Ewan.
Time travel. Boom. Oh, no, not time travel. What we're talking about? That Star Bridge from Rebels, the last episode, or what is that? What we called it? Star Bridge? What would we call it?
Sure, Star Bridge. Why not?
And he's brought in by Ahsoka. Boom.
Who's playing Ahsoka?
It doesn't matter. What's her face? Rosario Dawson with Ashley Ecclestein's voice.
Oh my god, I am totally in.
Yep.
Look, man, Maul's back. Hopefully he lives on
Guess
the
who's
streaming
back?
site. You know, I said this last week. I kind of want to go to that new Maul panel, even though it might be the exact same as what we saw last year.
Yeah.
But him and Warwick Davis doing it.
Yeah.
Right on there. Watched Willow on Friday.
Oh, you lucky guy. Is that on Netflix?
It is on. No. It's not on Netflix. It's not on Google Play. It's not on iTunes.
You just have it.
The DVD is $149 on Amazon.
Sounds right.
.ca. It's probably $4.99 on Amazon.com. It's impossible to find. So I tweeted Ron Howard. He said he stayed silent. No, it's on. The whole thing is on YouTube.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So I watched it on YouTube. I wanted to pay for it.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't let me. So, which is unusual.
It's not in here.
It's not. I mean, it's Willow.
YouTube.
It's not Super Mario Bros.
Da.
So anyway, yeah, we watched Willow, Warwick Davis.
There it is.
The whole thing.
Oh man, I haven't watched this in a long time.
I watched it Friday. It is as chaotic as Labyrinth and Dark Crystal.
Yeah.
It's like, whew, man, it is chaotic. Aaron loves it though, so we sat through it and watched it. At one point, I picked up my phone. She goes, "You're not paying attention." I was like, okay. Gotcha. It's weird though because it has that 80s Muppet type humor.
Yeah.
But it's not Muppet, but it's got the humor and Kevin Pollak's in it.
Oh really?
He plays one of those the little guys.
Yeah.
He's one of them. I was like, is that Kevin Pollak? And it was. I was like, that's so weird. His voice sounds like a chipmunk. Anyway,
It's skinny Val Kilmer. It's very disorienting.
Yeah. I can't wait for Top Gun 2. This is 99 weeks of doing this show.
99.
Next week is the big 100. We got some topics coming in. We're going to have a bunch of top 5s, and we might rank Star Wars.
Oh my goodness.
This is
Brock.
I'm James, and this guy was always Scum.
99 scums.
No, seriously, his whiskey's really good.
Hey scumbags, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our video. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebel Scum Podcast, for all the latest videos.